This is Dale Anderson, the Managing Director at Fabric Property Group. There's been a lot going on in the markets, and today I just wanted to quickly update you on the latest Zoopla property market report for June. Zoopla tracks all the data from Home Track and various other sources in terms of what's happening in the market. According to the latest market report, the big question on everyone's mind, are UK house prices falling in June 2023? According to Zoopla, the house price index shows a 1.2% annual rise in UK house prices after sales picked up in spring, but we still expect house prices to fall up to 5% this year. So here's what's happening with house prices in June 2023. Number one, UK house prices have risen 1.2% surprisingly in the last year, but it is a drop from 1.9% last month. There's a boost in spring sales, which have turned the quarterly growth rate positive. Market activity is set to slow further as mortgage rates edge towards 6%. Our predictions of 5% house price falls in 2023 look ever more likely. More expensive areas are likely to feel the worst of the house price falls in 2023, such as the southeast, southwest, East Midlands, and the east of England. House prices are already falling year on year in London in particular at minus 0.2% and Northern Ireland at minus 0.8%. Track your home to see if your house price is falling or rising. They do have software available to do this. So the house price index, which measures the rise and fall of the house prices across the UK, has recorded a 1.2% rise in house prices in the last year. The quarterly rate of house price growth is positive again after a strong spring of sales activity. However, higher mortgage rates and rising living costs inflation have hit buyers' affordability, stunted sales activity, and encouraged price discounts in the UK housing markets. And after the bank rate was raised to 5% to combat stubbornly high inflation at the end of June, mortgage rates are already climbing higher. This will further impact buying power, and our predictions of the UK house price to fall by up to 5% in 2023 are looking more likely. So why are UK house prices falling is the question. The UK annual house price growth has slowed to 1.2% compared to 1.9% last month. Two regions and many local authority areas are seeing house price falls. It's really down to a mismatch between the number of homes for sale and number two, how many buyers are in the market. In the last 4 years, there were 18% more homes for sale than average over the last 5 years. So this is the highest stock level since before the pandemic. This rise in supply means sellers need to adjust to what buyers who have more choice and less competition are prepared to pay. So we've really gone from a seller's market with ultra low borrowing rates into more of a buyer's market as interest rates have increased, and these discounts are feeding through to sold house prices and resulting in annual price falls in certain areas. Despite this, the market has proved fairly resilient at the start of 2023. The number of agreed sales is running 8% higher than the 5-year average, bolstered by the strong labour market and strict mortgage stress testing since 2015. The next question, how far will house prices fall in 2023? We do expect house prices to fall up to 5%. Mortgage rates are sitting at between 5 and 6%, which is quite high. Mortgage rates were to come back to 4 or 5%, house prices would change by plus minus 2% over the course of the year as it's much more manageable for home buyers. But the mortgage rates edge towards and remain at 6%, the bigger impact on sales numbers and house prices. So what's more, any further boost in the number of homes for sale could signal bigger house price falls coming in 2023. So depending on what the Bank of England decides to do next. The next question, are house prices falling in your region? Monthly house price index uses more data than any other platform, so they can get a more accurate picture of sold house prices across the UK. It does show a clear link between the level of actual house prices and the rate of house price growth. The higher the house prices, the more likely house prices are to fall. So your more high-end markets, city centres like London, even Manchester, I believe. Areas with lower house prices may continue to see low price growth this year, but less price falls. The east of England, southwest, East Midlands, and southeast, where property prices are highest and rose the most during the pandemic, or where house prices are likely to fall the most in 2023, according to Zoopla. So if you look at the map, you can see the changes to house prices. Nottingham, Birmingham, Sheffield still in a positive position. Manchester, Leeds, Edinburgh, certainly a slowdown in the market prices there, as you can see. So where are house prices falling in June 2023? The house price index shows house prices are falling in 24% of local authority areas in the UK. Last month, only 28 local authority areas in the UK were actually seeing annual house price falls. House prices have fallen the most in Aberdeen, with homes selling for less than about 2.2%, £3,000 less than this time last year. The lack of investment in the North Sea's oil industry in recent years is having a knock-on effect on local employment and reducing demand for property in the Scottish East Coast. So meanwhile, house prices are falling in 22 of the 32 London boroughs. Prices do remain twice the UK average, which means a greater correction is needed to aid affordability. However, price falls along with below average house price growth over the last 7 years means the city now offers better value for buyers, especially for flats and apartments, which are unchanged in average value since 2016. There are local authorities on the outskirts of London and now experiencing house price falls after seeing strong pandemic price gains. This includes Three Rivers, Hertsmere, Watford, Southend-on-Sea, and St Albans. So here are the areas where house prices are falling the most in June 2023. We've got Aberdeen, Scotland, Southeast, Northeast, Watford, and other areas around London and the South, in particular, Central London as well. Where are house prices rising the fastest in June 2023 is the next question. There are pockets of house price growth around the country. They tend to be areas that sit adjacent to major cities, but where house prices remain comparatively low. So people are selling their homes in places like Wales, agreeing sales 4.1% higher than last year, the highest percentage increase of anywhere in the country. And then there's places in the West Midlands with the biggest jump to house prices in pounds and pence, with homes now selling for an average of £307,300 on average, which is a £9,740 uplift over the last year. Several other areas around Birmingham are seeing above average house price growth too, such as Telford and Wrexham, Cannock, and other areas. Here are the 10 UK locations with the biggest rise in house prices in the last year: Wales, Northwest, Scotland, West Midlands. So some more sort of unknown smaller towns and cities have seen a lot more price growth. So where are the cheapest house prices in the UK? The cheapest house prices in the UK are, of course, in rural areas to the east of Glasgow. And then the modest pricing of properties in Scotland, along with stronger relative earnings, make home move more accessible for many, according to researchers at Zoopla. So in the northeast of England, you can find cheap houses for less than £120,000 in places like Hartlepool, Hull, Middlesbrough, and Sunderland. Burnley in the northwest also makes the list with an average house price of £117,400. House prices have continued to rise in these areas, albeit a bit slower paced, as more expensive markets take a bigger hit from higher mortgage rates. Here are locations with the lowest average house prices in the UK. As you can see here, lots of places in Scotland, the northeast. There's also cities and towns like Preston, Blackpool, and those areas where we're seeing that as well. Next question: where are the highest house prices in the UK? When it comes to the most expensive places to buy a home, it's all about London and the southeast. Kensington and Chelsea is the only place in the country where the average house price is over the 1 million mark, but properties are selling a lot less now with discounts compared to a year ago. Meanwhile, the average sold house price in the city of Westminster has fallen to £969,100, which is about a £7,170 drop in price from last year. So of the top 10 locations with the highest house prices in the UK, only Richmond upon Thames, Elmbridge, and South Bucks have proven immune to house price falls so far. So here's the areas: Kensington, Chelsea, top of the chart; Westminster, Richmond upon Thames, Camden, London, and all these other areas around London. So that's it from me. I just wanted to update you on the latest Zoopla House Price Index for June 2023. I really hope this information helps. Please click like, share, and subscribe to our channel. All the best. Take care.